say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're gonna get to the other stuff in a minute. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, bye. Some trill shit this time, man, whether you realize it or not. And at some point real soon, you're gonna realize that you're ready to open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. One time. Yeah. I'm this fly. Yeah, I'm this fine. Hey, but I am not the man of your dreams. Somebody's disillusioned in the equation. Somebody. Yes, sir. We on our way to the money, man. The skills to pay the bills, it ain't no thing but chicken wing on the string. Hey man, Mercury is finally direct, man, and I can feel it. Like this. I'm a whole vibe, man. You a whole vibe too. Just might not realize it yet. And until you're ready to come to that realization, it's alright, you can catch mine. Yes, sir, it's about that time, man. Are you ready? Next stop, the bag. What it was, y'all. Y'all know who it is, man. And if not, you can just call me Rodrigo the Don. And y'all tuned in with priceless knowledge of self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight, man. And look, I hope everybody doing good. I hope everybody vibing, because it's time to get back to this bag, man. For real. And this probably our last time coming out the bank, man. Because this is our last and final installment in this Part of Fortune in the Sign series. Okay? And so, we might as well get the bag for real. So, this right here, this a little something about those people that have their Part of Fortune in Taurus in their natal chart. Yeah. And see, before we actually go there, if you don't know my style, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give y'all a little bit about the Part of Fortune. I'm going to give y'all a little bit about the energy that comes along with it, the calculations of it, and how it might affect you. And then after that, I'm going to give y'all a little bit about what the sign of Taurus is actually all about. And then after that, we're going to bring it to a culmination. So, without wasting anybody else's time, man, let's get it cracking. So in astrology, man, the part of fortune, or Fortuna, as it's known by a lot of us, man, this is the most popular and well-known of all the Arabic parts. And what Arabic parts are sensitive points that are calculated in the chart by adding up 2 points or planets, then subtracting another one from that. Okay. And in this one, the calculations are going to differ between a day chart and a night chart. So this is going to be our first introduction to the difference between a day chart and a night chart. And all it means to have a day chart is that at the time of birth, the sun was above the horizon, or in houses 7 through 12. Okay. For instance, I'm a Cancer sun in the 9th house. So therefore, I have a day chart. Okay. Now, when we're talking about a night chart, that just means the opposites. That means at the time of birth, the sun was below the horizon, or in houses 1 through 6. Okay. And so that's just a little news you can use. And when we're calculating the part of fortune for a day chart, you're going to get it by adding up the ascendant plus the moon, then subtracting the sun. Okay. And then for a night chart, you're going to get it by adding up the ascendant plus the sun, then subtracting the moon. And in night charts, it's going to be a lot different. In the way that it's not going to be a lot different. It's just the calculations different. Pardon me. I got stirred up. My front door opened and shut. But anyway, man. So, just remember that the part of fortune, what it represents is worldly success. Okay. And that could pertain to our physical health, or it could represent, any potential prosperous careers or events that we might see in our lives. So in essence, it is kind of pretty aptly named, man. And that's because by both house and sign, it can point to our most gifted areas of life, or, our most, natural qualities and our most natural gifts that are expressed naturally and effortlessly. And by, just doing our best and expressing our natural and effortless quality. You see that light? By expressing that, man. Yeah. Nothing but beautiful things will come back to us, It's just the law of attraction, and it's just, the natural flow of the universe. You feel me? And so another thing to think about is that the part of fortune is going to lie the same distance in longitude from the ascendant as the moon is from the sun. And hey, man, if you got to look at the planet that rules whatever sign that your part of fortune is, and that's going to play a big factor here too. For instance, my part of fortune is in Gemini in the 9th house. Well, that means Mercury will be ruling my part of fortune. Well, my Mercury is in Leo in the 10th house, right alongside my Venus, which is also in Leo in the 10th house. And look what I do right here talking to y'all every day. Makes a lot of sense, don't it? And even when you talk about the part of fortune being in Gemini in the 9th house, I'm talking about spiritual things to y'all. So that's a little something to consider in that equation. You feel me? And so also understand that the Arabic part, the part of spirit, it's going to be calculated in the exact opposite manner than you're going to calculate the part of fortune. Okay. And the part of spirit, it represents the kind of the opposite theme. Does that mean misfortune? No, it represents spiritual well-being, spiritual nourishment, and things like that. And just because you're calculated in the opposite manner, that does not mean that you're going to get an opposite point at all. Okay. Cause you can use an equation to calculate it in the exact opposite manner and get the exact opposite number. You could calculate it, and change one number and the whole equation be thrown off. That's the funny thing about this. Okay. When we're talking about the part of fortune, when we're talking about the black moon Lilith, when we're talking about the north and the south node, or Rahu and Ketu, these are not actual celestial bodies. Okay. These are equations that are calculated. Okay. So when you're using these equations and then you take tacks and you put them in each one of your placements and you take the words away from them, they just become what? Coordinates. Okay. Coordinates is what? Just another sequence of numbers. You add a sequence of numbers to an equation, it then becomes what? An algorithm. So in essence, astrology is just the algorithm of your existence written down in the stars. Yes, sir. That's the truth of it. Does that mean that we're in the Matrix? I don't know. But if it is, then I got to be Neo, right? I have got to be Neo, man, or at least Morpheus, huh? For real. And I know it's a bunch of you Agent Smiths out there doing a whole bunch of trolling and hating. Keep doing it. You'll never be on my level, man. Never. Okay? And so, when we talk about the sign of Taurus in astrology, man, the sign of Taurus, it rules the second house, and it's ruled by Venus, and, it lords over the throat, and its symbol is the bull, and its mantra is, I have. And, this is fixed earth, y'all. And Taurus energy is all about rewards and, what we each place value in. And whereas Aries is kind of all about the love of the game, Taurus is all about the love of what the game can give you. Okay. Think physical pleasures and material goods and reveling in delicious excess. Yeah. The energy that comes along with the Venetian bull is quite tactile, man, with the tender, slightly sensual touch, man. And wherever Taurus shows up in the chart, it's going to seek to bring comfort, especially that which we derive from surrounding ourselves with the things that we find pleasing and beautiful and soothing, okay? And albeit stubborn as it comes, Taurus wants us to have all the good in life, okay? And that means in all of its guises. And whether we've been given the game or done it self-made, it really wants us to value all the beautiful things that we possess. That's what that's all about. You feel me? And so, when we're talking about putting a part of fortune in Taurus in the natal chart, the very first thing I need y'all to understand more than anything else, man, is that, having the part of fortune here means that good luck is probably only going to ever come to you when you're grounded and your actions are in tune with your values. Okay? Real talk, man. And this one is just all about being patient and persistent while also working towards your goals in a steady and deliberate manner. And as long as you're operating with a clear sense of purpose, hey, man, just like a Brahma Bull, you can't be stopped by nothing. I mean, Nathan, man, for real. Plus, look, just check it out like this. Look, this right here is actually the absolute epitome of what the part of fortune is all about, because there's not too many people who have a deeper love and respect and appreciation for the material world, okay, or the beauty of the material world, at least, than these folks right here, man. They love everything comfortable, okay? they love everything valuable, and they know the value of things that a lot of people wouldn't know the value of. And, being around beautiful things, especially if it comes to like being in nature and things like that, that's going to be something that's extremely energizing to them. And it's just another thing that feels rewarding to them, man. And, when it comes to people, they're going to be extremely affectionate, man. They're going to need a lot of touch, man. They're going to need that constant physical reaffirmation that, you behind them 10 toes down and you got them and you there. Okay. So they're going to need that. And I'm not just talking about sexually. I'm talking about a pat on the back, man. Hugs. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody that's going, if y'all in an issue, they're going to come up and squeeze your hand like, hey, man, I got you. I got you. So that's just something to think about, man. And, that they're really only interested in building sincere relationships. So that's something to keep in mind if you know somebody that has this and you're trying to fool with them. And if you really want to look deeper into it, you're going to see that people with this placement, they're actually just solid ass people all the way around, man. They really are who just motivated to build their life on solid foundations, and they want to build their relationships with firm foundations, man. That's what it's all about, man. And above all else, man, they're looking for stability. And you can look to whatever house that this part of fortune is placed in, man. And it's going to tell you what part of life that they really want that stability the most in. Because that's what they crave more than anything else, is stability. You feel me? And that's something to think about with this, man. And, to actually, when I think about it more, to be completely honest, man, it goes well beyond that, because the more that you think about it, the more that you ponder on it, man, it's actually that deep need for stability that colors just about everything that they do. I mean, everything they do. And, you know, it's also 9 times out of 10 probably going to be that same need, you know, for stability that actually guides them to their good fortune, man. Because that's what their inner guide is pointing towards, man. And with that in mind, understand that, you know, this right here, this ain't about cheap, quick thrills. No, that ain't what this is about at all, man. No. This is a palette right here that has a refined taste. You feel me? Let me fix my hat. This is a palette with refined taste. You know, this is someone who prefers sustainable and long-term fulfillment over some kind of momentary pleasure, you know, with no thought of the future in hand. Okay. You know, they don't want that. That's not what it's about, man. They're after long-lasting happiness with this one, man. And that's a beautiful thing, because what I know about these folks is that they really inherently understand that Rome wasn't built in a day. They know that. Rome was not built in a day, man. So they're going to be extremely persistent and willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want out of life. And if you got any type of grind in you, man, you got to respect that. You got to respect that, man. And let me also say that this right here, this is another powerhouse placement in the way of manifesting dreams into reality. Okay, it really is, man. But, you know, if there isn't a clear sense of purpose involved, man, it ain't going to be able to operate in its highest potential at all. And, you know, another thing to understand with this part of fortune in Taurus is that, you know, it indicates individuals who really ain't too keen on making changes. So, you know, having this placement, you know, it's through that Scorpio polarity that is trying to push them to develop some resilience and some internal stability. So they're built to withstand whatever hardships or turbulent waters, you know, that they might have to face with that Scorpio energy coming along with it in polarity. Cause, best believe, man, it's there. Oh, it's there. So, you know, despite whatever resistance you might have to it, man, let me tell you, you know, there's always going to be changes coming. There's always going to be changes, man. That's unavoidable, okay? And at least externally. That's the trick. At least externally. Because the trick is just to stay solid and to stay grounded internally, no matter what bullshit ass changes that the world may be going through on the outside. And, you know, in being that rock, you know, that solid motherfucker in the situation, man, you know, that stone, that bridge over troubled water. Yeah, man, that flow of positivity is just opened up. And, you know, that's a beautiful thing. And on another note, man, let me tell you that, you know, these folks right here, right, you know, they be having a lot of times absolute elite talents for creating some of the most marvelous things that you could ever behold here on earth, man. And another thing I'm going to tell you that Taurus rules the throat. So a lot of these folks here make beautiful singers. I mean, beautiful singers. And that's probably, if it isn't the way they look and just the way that you want to go up, this is somebody that when you see them, you want to go up and touch them. If it ain't that, you know, it's that voice of theirs that as soon as you hear it, you're going to notice them. You're going to hear them. You know? And look, man, even beyond all that we talked about, look, y'all, man, these folks right here, these are givers, man. And they're providers, you know, who are usually some of the coolest, the calmest, most laid-back individuals in the whole world, man. They just cool like that. And, you know, just like people with that Cancer Fortuna, you know, these folks here can find immense joy in just the little bitty small pleasures, man. You know, little things like a delicious meal, you know, a beautiful flower, you know, a delectable scent, you know, soft kisses, deep lovemaking. Yeah, man. And we mustn't forget that Venus is involved here. So whatever they do, they intend to look good doing it. Real spit, man. And best believe, they are. And on a little side note, a lot of these folks right here, they're going to make awesome interior designers and designers in any way. Fashion designers, artists, models too. So that's something to think about. But even if it don't play out like that, just because you build like that, you don't have to build like that, okay? And what I mean by that is that we all have all this energy available to us. You can think I'm full of shit. You can deny whatever energy that you have for you, man. That's on you. We all have all of this available to us. What you do with it is what you do. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And there's been some priceless knowledge of self. I appreciate all the love and support. If y'all are interested in the astrological reads whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Say, man, this concludes our Part of Fortune in the Sign series. Thank you. I'm glad to be done with this. This was a journey that, I went out on a limb on, and a lot of people, they don't know a lot about a Part of Fortune yet, and they're going to come around to it because now this information is here. But hey, I'm going to go on vacation for a few weeks now. Okay. When I get back, oh man, we're going to do Sun in the houses. We're going to do Mars in the houses. We're going to do Mercury in the houses. We're going to do Jupiter in the houses. Okay. My podcast will be coming out within a month after that. Okay. And that's not going to just be astrology. Understand? That's going to have all kinds of things. That's going to have psychedelic trip reports. That's going to have stories, life stories, that are relatable to where there might be some astrology and some things incorporated in there with that. If I know that, but it's just going to be me, telling my experiences, me talking to my people, me having guests, talking to people that have been through some of the things in life. And, if they're able to incorporate that and just us helping each other through fellowship, grow, and take the steps to get past the lifestyles that we used to live and get towards something that's a lot more positive. Okay? That's what it's all about, man. I'm about growth, man. So, hey, we're going to have fun. It's going to be cool. I might, have some late night stuff going, talk about some relationship things and some sexual things. It's going down, man. We grown. Hey, it's priceless knowledge, man. I'm going to keep it cracking like a bag of pork skins. Holla at y'all.